Hey everybody, Hardtekticon is back, and I am bringing you the Combiner Wars Wave 6 Deluxe Autobots. So let's check them out! So here they are, the rest of the Generation 1 Combiner Wars Autobots. They normally go with Skylynx, but we're not going to be showing off Skylynx right now. That'll be a different video. So let's just focus on these guys. All four of them are repaint, remolds. A couple of them have a few new features. Some of them have new heads. Here we have Smokescreen in his vehicle mode. Looking pretty good. Let's take his handgun off. Looks a little less silly. He is a direct repaint, no new molding, no new head or anything, of Prowl, who is a repaint remold of Streetwise, Street Smart, whichever. So yeah, but he looks pretty good. He may just be a repaint, but he looks pretty good. He's got his silvery triple barrel shotgun danger blaster. His plastic blue piece, it kind of just breaks everything up with this baby blue, powder blue colorness with the rich royal blue. Silver rims, a painted over siren, all kinds of cool stuff. Kind of a car butthole. Yeah. Exhaust is probably exhaust. I mean, really, what's the difference? So yeah. Put his gun back on so we don't lose anything. And then we have Wheeljack, who is the biggest remold, or the most remolded, of the team. Again, let's take off his gun. And he comes with the same sword as Breakdown and a Sunstreaker and all of them. This part right here, the whole hood piece, there we go, is new. This right here is new. These little spoiler pieces up here are new, but this is from the original mold. Got some nice silver rims. Excuse me. Not real strong on the paint, and it's going to get even more disappointing in robot mode, but repro labels will fix that up for us. Nice and dandy. There he is underneath, and he's got an exhaust too. And put his gun back on. Gotta plug this back in and pump. There we go. And now we have Hound. It's a nice little figure. I mean, it's not a perfect representation of Hound in vehicle mode, but I still like it. I've never had a Hound before, but I'm happy with this guy. It's pretty cool. I mean, it's enough Hound to be Hound. It's Houndy enough. So he does a pretty good job of storing his hand-foot gun, enough to where I'm not going to bother taking it off, and his regular handgun, blaster, whatever you want to call it, fits right on top. There's a little peg right down there, so it fits right on top. So yeah, it looks real nice. He's just a repaint of Swindle, except he has a new head, and that's it. Just a new repaint, new head. But looking pretty good. I like him. I'm happy with him. And here we have the return of Trailbreaker. No cutting trails for this guy. He's gonna break them. Just break them apart. He is a retool, remold, whatever, repaint of Off-Road and Ironhide and all of them. He's got a new head sculpt and a new arm to go with this kind of weird little blast arm like he had in G1. And he does pretty good use of storing his handgun blaster foot thingy, which is pretty cool because it is also remolded to have these blocky fingers. 2 blocky fingers and a blocky thumb instead of 4 fingers and a thumb. Let's squeeze this guy back on him. Oh. Let's not mess everything up now. But yeah, so he's looking pretty good. He looks trailbreakery enough. So yeah, I'm digging him. I'm not disappointed with him. They're all repaints, but it could be worse. We could just stop getting Transformers. So let's do some quick comparisons. First of all, I would like to put Smokescreen and Hound aside, because I said with Hound, but not with Smokescreen. Both of those are my first versions of getting those figures. So, let's put Wheeljack aside, bring Trailbreaker up here, and pull out Generations Trail Cutter. And that's what they look like together. I mean, Trail Cutter is way smaller. I mean, really, really small. In fact, I think scale-wise, yeah, I'm going to say the naughty word. Scale-wise, he works a lot better with Hound. Not perfectly, I said, but just a lot better. But, oh, wrong figure. Get him out of the way. So yeah, there he is with Trailbreaker. Trailbreaker versus Trail Cutter. Put him front tire to front tire. And side by side, front tire to front tire. So there you go. Now you can kind of decide which one you would prefer to have. And let's move him kind of off to the side. And let's pull out Generations Wheeljack. Again, going front tire to front tire. Now obviously Generations Wheeljack has got a lot more paint apps and is a little bigger. Just a touch. And a little bit more white, I guess. This is kind of off-white. Both great molds. Happen to have both of them. Looking pretty good. Okay. So, now let's pull out some other comparisons. How about Wheeljack and Sunstreaker? So now you can see the extensive remolding they did on the car mode. They both have the same accessories. But yeah, you can see the big difference right here and then here. And again, like I said, well, actually, let's see. Yeah, this part right here is different. And looks like even the back part right here is different. So yeah, there's Wheeljack and Sunstreaker. Now let's pull out again Trail Cutter and Ironhide. So that's how they look together. Let's see. I mean, same exact mold, and they're, besides paint, unless you take off their hand-foot guns, there's not really any difference, but you can see his arm, Trailbreaker's blaster arm, in truck mode, without the handgun foot. With it, I mean, well, I guess you can still kind of see it. I guess it wasn't necessary to do that. Okay. So there's those two. Put him aside. Let's pull out Smokescreen and compare him to Prowl. Which Smokescreen is, as far as I know, has always been kind of a repaint of Prowl. Or vice versa. So that's how they look together. Again, these are just direct repaints. Alright, and finally we have Hound. And I don't have Swindle. So there we go. Hound and Mirage. That's how they look together. Yeah, so oh, there you go. And one final comparison for kind of all four of them. I'm missing one. Where'd you go? How in the world did I lose him? Oh, there he is. I put him down. There we go. And here we have their leader, Optimus. So that's how they look with their leader. Cool. Alright, so from here, I'm going to get him transformed straight into robot mode. I'm not going to bother with limb mode until the Skylynx video. Actually, I will show you something toward the end. So, yeah, that'll be good enough. But yeah, so let's get these guys transformed. Alright, and now we have all the Autobots in robot mode. So let's go ahead and start checking them out. We have got Wheeljack, looking real Wheeljacky. Naked. But yeah, I mean, besides the obvious lack of paint apps, it looks like Wheeljack. I mean, look at that head. If that ain't a Wheeljack head, I just don't know what is. His eyes, which you can barely see, are blue. They should have been picked out a little bit more, but they were not. He's got the same handgun as Sunstreaker and Breakdown. And, of course, the same gun, sword, blade, machete. He's looking pretty good, though. This is my least favorite of the car Combiner Wars molds, mainly because of the way the legs transform. You know, it's kind of, it gets like that, you know. That didn't make sense. It made dollars. So yeah, he's looking pretty good. You know, this part has been remolded. A lot of the parts have been remolded, not the arms. I don't think. No, not the arms. Arms are the same. These parts are the same. Most of it's the same. I'll give you a good comparison shot later. But until then, let's give his weapon back. And when he's holding it, especially underslung, it looks like one of his crazy mad inventions, which will either work really well and the Decepticons are going to want it, or it's going to blow up and leave him all ashy looking. So yeah, I like the hand-foot gun on him. On Smokescreen, on the other hand, kind of obtrusive. So let's... He looks good with his triple barrel blaster shotgun thing. Kaplow. But yeah, same exact head sculpt as Prowl. Really have trouble seeing his baby blues. I think they're like the same color as this and all that. But good looking figure though, really good looking. I like him. I'm digging him. He looks pretty cool with that background behind him. Almost like a Cybertronian nighttime. I'm not even sure if they have daytime. I don't think they do. At least not sunlight time. But yeah, that's how it looks. So yeah, nothing new about this guy, just straight up repaint. You know, there's a particular other bot that's always being repainted from Prowl and Smokescreen that should have got a figure, but you never know. Combiner Wars isn't completely done. We still got a whole bunch of box sets to go through. Rumors and BotCon and all that. BotCon, yeah! Really excited about BotCon. Who's going to BotCon? I'm going to BotCon. I'm going to rock it there, man. So excited. So, until then, let's look at Trailbreaker. Now, he has a couple remolded parts. First of all, his head sculpt, which is nothing but black and blue eyes, but it works. It works. And like I said, he's got a gun arm. Can't tell on this side, but right here. Gun arm. Sorry about the reflections. And this fist, I didn't mention this before because I forgot, but this is actually remolded too. It looks a lot squarer and blockier. So yeah, 3 remolded pieces on Trailbreaker, who's he looks Trailbreakery enough, I think. He's rocking it. He's got his gun arm, and that's pretty cool. One more new feature, like I said, he's got the the hand-foot gun, which gives him a different looking hand, which is kind of disappointing that all characters he gets it, because this is like my least favorite mold to use as an arm. Even on Defensor, I just got Rook on there. I don't have First Aid? First Aid. As an arm, like a lot of people do. G1ers. But what you can do, in case you're wondering, put it like a right hand and take his gun arm and just plug it in there. Which looks even more ridiculous than Rook's. Because look at that tiny, tiny wrist. That huge hand. It just looks, oh, that looks ridiculous. And ridiculous is awesome when it comes to toys. Because toys are supposed to be a little ridiculous. But, and I'm not sure if this is supposed to be official or not. But there's a little trick you can also do. Let me see if I can try and do this right. Kind of put his thumb up. Put his fingers out, his chunky fingers. Kind of angle it a little. Take his backpack. And kind of don't get it perfectly like down like that. But you got to pull it out a little bit. And just kind of fits around here between his two wheel pieces, which does kind of stretch them a little. Just a little bit. Oh, okay, maybe more than just a little bit. So it's all up to you if you actually want to do something like this. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. Come on, give me a break. Give me a dang break. Come on. Oh! There we go. So this kind of gives him that little piece over his head that he had in G1. So if you really want it, you could do that and make him look all G1 and help with the storage, because he's only got one hand, and I don't know, just putting something inside the plug or right here, or there's no underneath, to me looks kind of stupid. So I guess this is the best choice. So we'll just leave him like that. And finally we have Hound. Again, Hound is a repaint of Swindle with a new head. Everything else is the same. Pluck that off. It's looking pretty good. Looking pretty houndy. A little extra beefy, and he's supposed to have like the big chest as opposed to the beef shoulders, but you know, people change, so shouldn't bots? Not according to the G1ers. And he also has a nifty little trick, which some people were kind of wondering if it's also shared with Swindle. And while I do not have Swindle right now, because I traded him, no, I sold him with Onslaught because I thought Onslaught sucked. But either way, it is shared with Swindle. So all you have to do is take his gun, which has those two little notches right there, and just kind of put it right in there between those two little pieces. And it works just like, not just like, but bam. Now Hound's got a shoulder blaster. And I always like the concept of shoulder blasters, especially since they didn't have freaking eardrums to explode when shots are fired right next to their ear. I also ever wondered if like the really, really powerful guns like kind of burnt the side of their head at all, but they're pretty heavy metal, so I guess not. But yeah, so he looks pretty cool like that. And then you can either put his gun back, or his foot gun back on his shoulder, or he can hold it like this. That way you can see his fingers. So that's all four of them. Let's move some aside and do some comparisons. I know which two I'm doing now, huh? Alright, so here we have, go ahead and move you aside for a minute. Here we have Generations Wheeljack, which isn't perfectly 100% transformed because, I don't know, in my opinion, he's a little sloppy. But, yeah. Generations Wheeljack with his weird little wrenches and such. I can't get his, there we go. There's his shoulder cannon with his pushing his head aside. Whatever. There we go. There is Generations Wheeljack with Combiner Wars Wheeljack. Robot mode, I know what everybody's saying. It's like, Oh, of course he likes that one better. No, I like this one better. That one is just too sloppy, too complex. You know, just so much stuff in the way. I just don't like it. I mean, I like it, but I really like the more simple figure right here better. Even if he doesn't have a shorter gun that gets in his frickin' way. So yeah, there's the Wheeljacks together. And as you can see, this Wheeljack is a lot taller. This one's like, you know, sometimes I don't think I have the legs pulled out all the way, but I do. He's just kind of short. He's a shorty. So we'll move these aside, get them out of the way, so we can pull out some Trailbreakers and Trail Cutters. So here we have Combiner Wars Trailbreaker, and here we have Generations Trail Cutter. And look at that, again, Combiner Wars is taller. And this was the Generations line where a lot of budget cuts were happening, which also taught them a lot on how to do Combiner Wars. But yeah, there you go. There's those two. So yeah, maybe kind of facing off type of thing. Yeah. So I mean, all together, minus the gun hand, this one does look a little bit more like the cartoon, or maybe not the cartoon, but oh crap, I just mistransformed them. I don't even know what I'm doing here. Oh my goodness. Okay, there we go. And okay. All right. Now between these two, I'm having trouble deciding which one I like better, because this one does have a much more original character head and the gun arm, but this one looks really good too. So I'm not sure. Oh well. That's those two. So now we'll start comparing the individual bots with their repaints of the other Autobots. So really, I don't even know who's original anymore. Whatever. So here we have Ironhide and Trailbreaker hanging out together. Of course, they're pretty much the same height. Trailbreaker might be like a micro-inch taller due to head sculpt. But yeah, there's those two together, hanging out, being buddies, goofing around, drinking some high-yield Energon. Yep, those guys. And who else do we have here? Let's move Trailbreaker more to the back. And let's pull out Wheeljack again. Jackie. And here we have a completely different character. Or style of character. Sunstreaker. Sunstreaker. And yeah, so there's a lot of differences there, mainly due to head sculpt and paint sculpt, but also due to remolding and such. Let's see. These pieces are remolded. The feet are remolded. These pieces are the same. Crotch piece is the same. This right here, all that, is remolded. Same tires. So yeah, lots of remolding going on with here, and let's get them straightened up. All we need now is a little bob. I know Shapeways has them, but yeah. Too bad Hasbro won't come out with one. So now we got Wheeljack getting back there, moving the Generations Wheeljack out of the way. And here we have, let's do how last, Smokescreen with Prowl. And like I said, they are repaints of each other, or Smokescreen's a repaint of Prowl. So yeah, that's cool. Somehow though, the repainted head, they just look like different faces to me. I know it's pretty much the same face. They even pretty much use the same silver on the face part, but they look like they didn't have different faces. And I think that's cool. So yeah. Rock on, Hasbro. Good job. Really good job. Put you over here. And then finally we have Hound. And because I don't have Swindle, Mirage. So yeah, there's those two. Just seeing. So nobody's left out and everybody gets compared to something. Alright, and finally, let's go ahead and put these guys out. See what we can do here. Yeah, that's way out of frame, isn't it? Nope, still entirely out of frame. Alright, now we got Wheeljack going. And here we have Trail Cutter. And here we have Hound. And here we have Optimus Prime. So yeah, you can get a good sense of how big they... There we go. This is Optimus Prime with the original ratchets in him. So let's kind of get him kind of in the background, since he's blocking everything. Him and his bulk and his beef, his robo-beef. Robeef. 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 Beefcake. I swear neither of my Wheeljacks like to stand up properly. Neither of them. Whoop, sorry about that. Hit the camera tripod. It's actually not a tripod because it's not on a tripod stand. It's actually on a studio mic stand. But yeah, there we go with a team of Autobots. Looking pretty cool, looking fun. All kinds of neat stuff going on. So yeah, so let's do one more thing real quick. Let me do some transforming. Alright, and here we have another version of Optimus Maximus. He's got the other Autobot limbs on him, and I think it looks pretty cool like this. Yeah. Rocking pretty good. Rocking pretty good, yeah. Look at that. He is ready to whoop up on some Megatron, Shockwave, whoever. Yeah. So, I will be doing a Skylynx review, and I will either be doing a, quick combine mode with these guys, and Skylynx making Skyrain, or do a completely separate video. So either way, you will get to see Skyrain and all his me type of thing. But I also do have something special for you to see about Skyrain and how he can actually look awesome. Really, really awesome. So, this was my review for the Combiner Wars Deluxe Wave 6 Autobots. And this was Hardtekticon, and I will see y'all next time.